So now the question, Koring, have you killed someone now?
That thing is not a secret. Some of us have killed too many people. If someone has raped 20 grannies and this person is armed and dangerous, when I see him, must I sing a lullaby song? What must I do? When you go out and fight drug dealers, what do you think happens?
When I see you, I see Julius Malema.
Julius, why are you saying this thing? Why are you doing this to Lux? and I look at you like, oh, is this now personal? No problem.
You also mentioned Koring, Mosadwa Julius Wanga, Utlapaka Lux.
Mantua smells good. When I say Mantua, Julius's wife loves me, I mean it with all my heart. Please somebody interview Mantua and ask her and deliver the truth. Guys, Mantua loves me.
What do you think Katabaya death penalty?
If it's clear that the death penalty is for those who kill people, no problem.
A drug dealer, I think you called Dobsonville, I think.
Yeah.
Who put a case against me?
Yeah, the guy is dead. May his soul not rest in peace. He had cases where communities, members opened cases against him. Julius was present for all of us when all of us were never present for this country. He said, I'll be that guy. Let them kill me if they must kill me.
Okay, first time you could something positive. Julius.
Julius is your brother. I'm your uncle. And Africa. This guy is on Twitter. It would hit home more than if you tweet about me. I'll tweet like you're a fog of lawyer, man. Maybe this is the first time I say it anywhere in the platform. You can't cancel me. Now you can't cancel me. They can.
Dumelang sanibonani line la rekisa mo Simunza proudly from Mafikeng aka Mr Baby Powder. Bona if you don't know Mr Baby Powder then I get you know. But if you don't know my guest which is Nhlanhla Lux then I go on TV. I want social media. But before I introduce our guest let me send a shout out to our subscribers. I think by the end of today there will be reaching 151,000 subscribers. I repeat, we're going to be reaching 151,000 subscribers tonight. So it means you guys are supportive. So this is the only way we can be able to pay the bill. So, Rale Boha. Let me also send a shout out to Street Fame. Kora Gasa para today, Mare Ziakal. And then let me also send a shout out to Gray. I hope you be around. Special shout out to Barkingana Don Tatazel. Ola Gray. Yeah, but shout out to you. And also shout out to Mastermind Films. So if you want to shoot maybe like Buddy podcast, 3 cameras, including editing, KFL 1.5. And then if you also want to shoot a music video in a professional way, and then include a little shooting, editing, and the rest of my channel order, contact the number below. Yeah, now it's Kalemanj. Njaga. Nhlanhla Lux. Njaga, officially welcome to the show.
No, I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Thank you to all the subscribers. I'm pretty sure Kinjataka see most of them because this platform is, you can look around, proudly black produced, black owned. And for us, it's important because it means that, you know, our black culture, pop culture as a platform for expression. Very important. So shout out to you guys too. Yeah.
Hola. Yeah. And when something that I said off camera, you could have been anywhere else in Jack, but you're here.
Sure.
So I repeat in Jack, thanks for coming. I appreciate it.
Yeah. No, big pleasure. Anything, anytime. As long as it's our platform stuff took off.
Yeah. And in Jack, I think this is the second time you'll meet her face to face.
Sure.
The first time you want to go in the event I don't that.
Yeah.
And it was late.
Yeah.
When Vusi over a Gray, the owner of Don Tatazel.
Yeah.
So that was the first time you want face to face.
Sure.
Usually you want to TV, le social media.
Sure.
So first time you want to get a man. Either the man or brave, or wahlanya. First time go born.
Sure.
Kira mara di mana hatsabe man, because of if I was one of your enemies,
Yeah.
ngabe ke thotse chance by then.
Sure.
Because it was late, and unless if maybe your bodyguards need this somewhere, but there was not anyone there.
Sure.
So now the question is, how it's a Spanish tuna? How it's happening now?
I always say in communities, our fear for drug dealers can be more than the love for our own children. I mean, when a man loves their children and their community, that doesn't get airtime. But when our fear, or maybe when the attempt to confront drug dealers whose objectives is to capture our young people's future, then there's the answer to that question is that we're not scared of the truth. I must be scared, and as a result of me being scared as a man, another man is going to take away the future of my children. Then I mustn't even be around. I must go kill myself somewhere. So we can't be scared. In the township, you grow up in harder environments, tougher environments. You'll get baptized with fire. So what was one guy that's selling drugs that you are confronting? So because where you come from, and we're not making it popular or by any means, but there's no gun we don't have. There's no, we will match your force. We don't care who you are. If we say that, listen, or we no prastering brantswem le rifle rifle. I'm sure you've seen it when the Hawks came to my house and they were going to all the properties, collecting the rifles, asking why do I have so many rifles, but it was legal to have rifles. Some say you can't own an AK-47, but at the end of the day it was legal to own AK-47. So we don't say this. And maybe we're not caucus, it's got le plomel merchants, lateral drug deal. It's got we are resourced. We've got enough equipment.
Yeah.
We've got enough tools to match our words. So we know very well there's nothing you can do. On helicopter yeah. Doesn't matter. There's nothing we do not have that can back up our words. That's why some people in their homes and spaces might think that that is too far-fetched, or but simply because in your reality ke claim, in our reality ke promise. Sure.
And then the reason why I'm asking this in Jack, I'm just scared because of I only started to know Kawena that time who
Sure.
And ke blomile Soweto for a long time. So as you nesi good dudula before, dudula how
yeah.
So now the question is going before Dudula or before the whole thing, because I think my question is again before all of this, I think maybe you were not born like this.
Yeah.
I think when something happened, who's fighting crime.
Yeah.
So what changed?
To be honest with you, darling, I've always been this guy. The problem is the cameras were always wherever they were. So I didn't create the looting. I responded to the looting. And the cameras happened to have been there. And now the question is, who are these people that we don't know who have rifles and AK-47 and R5s and are able to do what the police can't do? Because at that time, the police have lost control of the situation. And we were able to manage and contain the situation up until even the military came through, and we operated with the military, we operated with the police too at some point. So it was a joint op until the entire operation was finished. So I've always been an activist and involved in the community for over decades now.
So that was before Dudula?
Dudula came long after. Body looting and people knowing us to defend Bumaponya Mall and other infrastructure. Soweto Parliament is something else that is way older than Dudula. In Soweto Parliament, we then adopted Dudula as a program. Dudula was just a program. It was nothing but a program in our space of Soweto Parliament.
Yeah.
We then said, listen, we can't have a parallel program in Soweto. So we're all going to join forces to address undocumented people in our communities, because some of the crimes are hideous. They're too brutal, and people can be held accountable because they say they're undocumented. So we as the communities need to ensure that in our properties we don't rent out to people we don't know, because these are the same people that will rape our kids and we can't hold them accountable because they just disappear. They kill you, they shoot you, they mug you, they break into your houses. The fingerprints belong to Casper, the friendly ghost. Do you see what I mean?
They disappear.
So that's where it started. And to be honest with you on this platform, I hope the young people are listening at home. Totola went as a program, turned into a movement. And from a Soweto-based movement, went into a city-based movement, graduated into a provincial-based movement, and boom, a national movement. And when it was national, obviously you need a lot of people to participate in it. And you had quite a lot of people who were disgruntled from political parties who were joining Totola and wanted to convert a people's movement into a political party. And that's when I said goodbye. And unfortunately, when I said goodbye, it crumbled. I'm sure you didn't even hear about it. You are now yourself after I left.
After that,
yeah. And you know, it's sad. And then our people that are left in Totola, because they then see, Esan, in the absence of this guy, Totola ceases to function properly. Then, the guy is bigger than Totola, then we must character assassinate him so that we can maybe boost someone's character, so that, man, but flop, man. We actually a jealous type of people. I don't know what is wrong with us, you know. And when I started, at that time, when I started speaking the truth about what Totola is, some people would be like, no, don't speak that truth. What truth must I speak? Your truth. And let me tell you what the truth was. The truth was, we can never ever be found fighting against foreigners, in particular what we call African foreigners, simply because of political definition. We can't, because all of us have a relative, if you understand history, have a relative beyond these borders.
Exactly.
Whether in the grave or still alive. We all. This Africa is our Africa. All we are saying is that even without these borders, if you go back to 100 years ago, 200 years ago, let's say go back to pre-colonization, before the white men settled here and created these borders, we also had traditional and cultural borders. We knew that beyond that river, the Venda people are found that side. That river was the border. And you can't just go to the Venda side and just do as you please. They've got a way of life. You respect it. As much as you might brag. Now let's bring it back to the township or to today.
Even so, if
you are my cousin and you visit me, you know that my mother expects us to be at the house before the lights turn on or before the sun sets. But when we're at your house, it's easier because your mom really doesn't mind. Says no, go to the streets, explore the streets so that you can be wiser. People have different philosophies. But when I'm at your house, I must respect what the rules and conditions are for being at your house. So that's what we're fundamentally fighting for, so that everyone can uphold the laws of this country. Everyone, South Africans and those who are coming and going. So unfortunately then you had people whose greed, they just saw themselves in parliament because, wow, this movement has attracted so much attention. And you know, and I just realized at that point that we're not going to go anywhere.
So just to make sure you're on the same page, can I understand correctly? So how any issue with the foreigners? The only issue you want them to be documented?
I've never had an issue with a foreigner.
Because you know social media, but I don't know that Lux now is
no,
fighting.
you see what made people think that perhaps I have a problem with the foreigner is the very media. You know, because they must sell something. There was an article in a foreign cover at some point or a king of xenophobia. King of xenophobia? Are you kidding me? King of xenophobia. And in the same month, the media will not tell you this, but you can. I'm happy you can Google articles and even go to the embassy of Ethiopia and go find out. In the same year, when South African media was saying, "I'm the king of xenophobia," the same me, I was helping Ethiopia, an African country, fight in their war. I went there and fought in their war to defend Africa against Western forces trying to infiltrate and impose their systems of oppression on the people of Ethiopia, you know. So when I come back home, I land at the airport and one of the newspapers is me and this says king of xenophobia. I'm like, I just risked my damn life in an African country fighting to defend Africa, and I'm here at home, I'm king of xenophobia. Wow. But I just then understood that you know, like people must talk and it's okay, you know. And if your kids can go to school from you lying and pushing your own platforms using my name, hey man, let the kids go to school, it's fine. You know what I mean? Yeah, so me, I'm beyond that, because like I said to some guys, Lionel Messi is amongst the best players to ever kick a ball. But there are more than 1 million people in the world who belong to a fan club against Messi. When Messi won the World Cup, some people broke into his grandmother's house. Google it. You can't make everyone happy. It's impossible. Cristiano Ronaldo, we should be celebrating these two young people, but we can't because our human nature, we are so petty that we can't say you are both amazing. We must say, hi, Cristiano is amazing. No, Messi is amazing. Why must one be great at the expense of another? Why can't they just all be great? So unfortunately, that lives strong in our black communities, my brother, and in our black families. And it's a result of the families being broken. That's why we are also broken as units, as individuals. And when we're in the streets, retasa vaslin mumlomu, rapare kuchirkene kokonga ka tenda nyana 25,000, reswipe to into kazabat because it's immediate validation that you've never got your whole life, the love that you don't even get at home. You are forcing it in the streets. If you post something, it doesn't get likes. You delete it because it's not enough. Your heart doesn't. So some of us we beyond that, you know. We beyond.
I think social media, guys. Social media dangerous. I think social media powerful, but at the same time it's dangerous.
Sure.
Because now, especially like Twitter and Chaga. So Twitter, they will make you see things which are not there in Chaga.
Oh yeah.
You are not believing things which are not there.
Sure.
Because now, if Oluntumbu like this, there will always be someone who negative.
Sure.
And then once but like a agenda, fake news.
Sure.
They'll do the fake news for like the clickbait. Just for about saying the
Yeah.
So be careful about it. Don't believe anything on social media. Do your own research. And guys, disclaimer about it. This is not really an interview, more like a conversation. We just want to get to know him. But I've posted something on social media for if in case you may want to lead questions for Nhlanhla Lux, I'll go through those questions, but not now. So in I want to share something. Because of crime high Mzansi.
Sure.
What do you think Katabaya death penalty?
Sure.
And the reason I'm asking these questions, something happened. I think you go Mastermind. I think you Congo. They've gathered maybe 1,200 criminals, but executed.
Yeah.
So I think now someone from Congo, if banana crime, I think they will think twice.
Oh, for sure.
So now, whenever you think of death penalty,
I don't necessarily believe in the death penalty unless the death penalty is for someone who has killed someone. Like I believe in conditional death penalty. Not all crimes leading to death penalty. Someone saying that you did white collar crime at Vodacom and whatever, and the judge says you must now be killed. So those things sometimes they look at what happened during the apartheid times. We've got some of our serious heroes that went through the death penalty simply because they were singing an Oliver Tambo song in front of a building full of white people. Do you see what I mean? So if it's clear that the death penalty is for those who kill people, no problem. I'm one of the people that will support it. But what I am actually interested in, because I am part of crime fighting for more than decades now, So I'm really at the center of what happens. I think once we start saying death penalty or this type of punishment, when you speak punishment, I think you are too late in the conversation. Speak prevention. If we have 1 million people killing people, death penalty can be the answer. Why do we have 1 million people killing people? It's this democracy that we are talking about. We should really look into this democracy and ask ourselves, what happened to our African systems and our African way of life? Because pre-colonization, Africans flourished, the continent flourished. What systems did we have in place for discipline? At home, at community, at country level, at continent level? Because we had so much harmony. You'd never hear serious cases of did you hear that they took Mang Mang's head off and they raped that granny, raping a granny. But they 245 more makoko. So we then should look into where we come from as people, because democracy and all this English that we speak now is what was forced onto us and our people. So I'm not even trying to be racial and taking you down in an emotional roller coaster, but I'm speaking reality here. We should look that, if you say, for an example, if you say we must outsource our security. I'm a man. I've got 2 daughters in the house and a wife. Someone is breaking into the house. I must call another man in the form of a policeman to come and rescue my daughters. And if I do anything, I'm at the risk of even being arrested because I killed this man.
Yes.
The system is not the one. Let me tell you something. Back in the day, Africans knew how to discipline and punish its kids. Today we've got too many black people in prison for things that they didn't even do.
Mm.
Yeah, they didn't even do.
They didn't even do. Back then, Africans would then have what we call a lekgotla.
Lekgotla.
Everywhere in Africa, doesn't matter where in Africa, lekgotleng would hear your case, and we would together as a community help you get rehabilitated from the problem that you're facing. Why didn't we have so much depression in Africa before colonization? We were so much in harmony with nature. We knew what to do to flourish. People think that we were not civilized. It's their definitions and their terms. Who said we were not happy? Who said we were not happy? We're very much happy. But again, I think we have brewed an environment where power is outside our hands and not with us. Even in religion, you pray for something and someone out there to come and do something here. That's why but if you look at African spirituality, you are pasha to provoke the spirit that's inside of you to do everything that is great outside of you. You see, African spirituality, it's inside out. But religion that was brought to us, it's outside in. So you must rely on a very far-fetched energy source to come and make a difference in your life. No Superman is coming to fly in and change our lives. So we must take control of our lives. We must interrogate the political system that was given to us, that I personally do not favor so much, because otherwise I would be a professional politician. I'm an activist now. People confuse activism with politics. I'm an activist, not a politician. I don't report to a political party. I'm not a member of any political party. I've never been a member of any political party. Mine is I fight for what the people are calling me to fight for. If there's no electricity or water and I'm leading that fight, when the water comes back, it's for everyone. Whether you are ANC, you are EFF, you are DA, it's for everyone. Whether you are black, you are colored, you are white. If I'm fighting for this community, it's for everyone. So activists actually cater for the needs of everyone. Yeah. Politicians cater for their needs of their members before the country. Yeah. They must make their members happy before the country. Yeah. So my brother, I'm then saying that I am not necessarily happy with the systems that are currently, that we find ourselves under. Look, the political system, it was imposed on us in 1994. I'm going to make a practical example for a 6-year-old to understand. If you steal my father's car, my father passes away, and at some point on the highway, I see the car. I stop you. You know what's the right thing to do? It's to take my father's car. But no, they say, let's go negotiate. When you negotiate around the round table, then they say, you can hire the car. It's still owned by us. No, listen, this is my father's car. And our forefathers like Bomandela then accept a negotiation deal where we share my father's car. And
is this related to the land?
The land, the country, the everything. We share my father's car. Why are we negotiating with people that took from us? Yeah. Look, my brother, if it's cold and I stole this jersey from you, and you meet me in the winter, yeah, Baba, you're the guy that stole my jersey, you. And I say, listen, I can't give you this jersey, let's negotiate. Every morning you can come and borrow it. I'm not even saying I will come and borrow it. You the one that's borrowing your own father's jersey or your own jersey. So now I don't know where our people were, or maybe they were just tired of being murdered by the boys too, man. Maybe too I don't know, but you can't blame them. It's up to us to now continue this thing and make it right. You know?
So basically, are you saying the system is failing us? And the reason why I was this question because of I'm going to take it back to Tabaya Kisa AKA, you know?
Yeah.
Because I think now the case is getting stronger now. Now they're able to prove for like one of the suspects, the guy on a local airport, the guy on a local mall, and the guy on a local that club.
Sure.
So now they're able to prove. So now, but nothing is happening currently. So now, according to you, are we saying the system is failing us?
Look, the system for me, it was never designed for Africans to flourish, my brother. The system was never designed for us. Otherwise, it would, if it came from us, it would be for us. It came from the enemy source. It came from the enemy side. And it was put on the table. It was flourishing. The richest man to ever walk the planet is Mansa Musa. He's an African. Our technology that is called primitive, their technology that is called modern, can't even match our technology of yesterday in Africa. The pyramids, today's technology can't even fathom. Forget building the pyramids. They can't even fathom how we did it because it is just too supernatural. Yet it's natural. It's here. You can touch it.
You can touch it.
You know what I mean? Some people don't understand how we lived amongst the animals because they would then need to separate the lion with us. But we never had a zoo where the lions are kept. The lions would come here. Why kill Mokwin? Because I lived amongst crocodiles. That's why my totem kapa my tagazel ile Mokwena. Because my forefathers would then live amongst the crocodiles and be able to communicate and live in harmony with them. That's why because you are then saying that Nhlanhla Lux, who is from Bakwena, because back in the day the area you come from was more important than anything because we didn't really go by surnames per se. We say Nhlanhla Lux, it's either why your parent or why your area. So if it was in today's world, I would be Nhlanhla Lux wa Soweto wa Magesta, because my father's name would be then Magesta. So you see what I mean? Yeah. So even if you study the Zulu kingdom, you look at all the Zulu kings. It's wa, meaning belonging to. It's either the person or the place. Waga. You see what I mean? Even with the Sotos, it's the same thing. Vendors in the north, it's the same thing. It's the same thing. Yeah.
Because good law or a drug dealer, I think you call Dobsonville, I think.
Yeah.
It's a case against Wena.
Yeah.
So now, are you 100% sure this guy is a drug dealer? The reason I'm asking this because of if Nigel a drug dealer and myself, I doubt if I'll go to police station to give a case for somebody else, because now once we are police station, now it means now all eyes on you for investigation.
Sure.
So tell me more about that. Are you 100% sure this guy a drug dealer? And why would he go to police station?
Look, the guy is not is unfortunately dead now. Yeah, the guy is dead. May his soul not rest in peace. He's dead. May be miserable and burn in hell for the rest of for eternity, if this hell thing is even real. But
when was this?
Let me not say it on camera because they might come back and say, you know so much. How do you know when he passed away? And I don't know. I know for a fact he's dead. That's all that's important. Look, the man was a drug dealer. Before encountering me, he had cases where communities members opened cases against him that disappeared in police stations because this very system we're discussing, you know what it does.
So that was before you?
Yeah, that was before me. There were more than 10 cases open against this man. Dockets disappeared. Let me tell you, when I encountered this man, the community was marching to this man's house to say that enough is enough with drugs. I was invited by the police to come and say that and help them control the community because, hey, they were too angry. And me being there, the man then turns around to say, the only person that I want to open a case against, and by the way, this man, he did not open the case. It was the EFF that opened the case. Why? Because he was the secretary of the EFF at the time. So, drug dealer secretary of EFF. I mean, even if he was a secretary of the ANC or of the DA or of MK now, or guy, drugs and a community area, and the community is here to hold you accountable. I'm not just walking to you. It was not my operation. If it was my operation, let me tell you something. That guy wouldn't have had the opportunity to open a case. If it was it was a community's operation. But then they were too embarrassed, I think, as a political party because they are now their member who is now being exposed by the community. They must now find a way to PR it, and then they say that they make him look like an innocent Mandela from the community. So Weto was laughing as a community. Innocent Mandela. But I'm like, listen, I thought it's a real political party that's here for the people. If I was leading that political party and the community is going to one of my members selling drugs, I would join the community and strip that person of my membership. But they thought, no, we must PR it out because the truth is not because we're now a people and a culture that can be PR'd into anything. So that's why people would rather PR you than be honest with you.
You don't want dents.
No.
Yeah, that's what guys get about it. Don't believe anything that you see on social media platforms, because now the information that you via social media now is like when we planning a match against this guy, because now we know about expose somehow.
Yeah.
But now I want to explain it like
Sure.
this. Already this guy's never match towards this guy. So it shows that before Nhlanhla fitla bafethu, then so only case table my 10 already, and then they were going to this guy by match, and then he joined. He was invited, but now that information is right to all.
No.
So that's why you got to do your own research, bafethu. So if it's a case.
No, the case Fedile, let me, you know what the case was for? The guy says, I stole 350 rands from his house. Nanale, the 100 rand notes stay 50 rand. SI Boni. Guys, that was the case. Oh. South Africa, Nale. But let me tell you why it was important for the EFF to have a case against me. It was important because at the time, if you remember carefully, we were so prominent in this country. It was very scary. So they thought that I would honestly open a political party and contest them and what. And them being black people, I understand us as black people, we are jealous of each other, man. So they had to at some point character assassinate you as long as there can be a new media headline that says Nhlanhla Lux charged, so that someone in New York, when they see the newspaper, they don't have the background, they make their own mind up to say that he's a criminal. This one charged, a poor old man. But unfortunately, you can't. Let me tell you, South Africans, maybe this is the first time I say it anywhere on the platform. You can't cancel me. Now you can't cancel me. They can tell you, hey, he did this with PR. They PR'd out and say that he has done that or this. You can't cancel me. I am not sponsored by Nissan or Hilux. You can't get anyone to come get anything back from me. Nakil pantsula la strata, tsaka ke tsaka. Ake spanele moto, ake report it to moto. No one can call me to a DC in the morning. No one can say you must report directly to level 6 because the boss wants to. Hey, my life is mine. You can't cancel me. You can't, because you can't even vote for me. Whether you agree with me or disagree with me, I am going to lead you as long as we find ourselves in the same space. Because some of us are born to stand up. We can't normalize the idea that you've got people who are calling maybe who Bokoko because they are vulnerable. They identify Gogo's houses that live alone and break into their houses. We don't call the police. We wait outside the Gogo's house. We become the security. Come with pleasure, we'll sort you out. We are those people. Whether that Gogo agreed with me or not, I don't need their permission to make sure that they live to see another day. We do it because we can and we want to. We don't call community meetings to say that there's GBV, so this is what we're going to do so that we can look smart. Whether you on Twitter have spoken nonsense that you don't even understand about me, if I see you, girl, in your car that you are driving, being hijacked, trust and believe, if we are in that environment, we will not be hijacked. You will get your car and you'll go home to your kids because some of us are there. We don't care what you have said or how you have said it. You don't even need to explain to me because I understand your weakness as a human. It's okay. Some of us, hey man, we operate on another level. So we just who we are. And I say we because I work and operate with men who are exactly like me.
Or is it there is no because of our saying could have said the same thing to my team. I think Boma 2 months ago. They were trying to cancel me ko Twitter. I think on Facebook. So they were fighting for me. You don't have to. They can't cancel me. Because now I don't report to anyone.
Yes.
You understand? So it's not like maybe you sponsor like MTN and then after maybe a certain day, MTN will take maybe their account.
Yes.
No need. And then after 2 months,
yeah.
So that's why I'm laughing, because I can relate somehow.
Like something like 3 times.
More than 3 times.
Yeah.
More than 3 times. Yeah, more than 3 times to cancel him. Like,
Yeah.
in the game. The thing is, the more they try to cancel him, the more they take him even.
I woke up at some point with my Instagram with 100K, with 1,000 extra followers.
Yeah.
My sister, who also has my account, some people have my account on their phones because I'm not always able to respond to people who are saying, please help me with school fees. So some things are very important and I can do them and I must do them. So I'm like, please help me like with the inboxes because I'm not going to answer 20,000 inboxes.
Yeah.
So sometimes they say to me, hey, listen, we have 5,000 new followers from yesterday. Really? Why? And they said, no, apparently we're trending yesterday. Guess what I was doing? Maybe that week I had a golf tournament because I play golf. So I was playing golf and I was shutting myself off from everything. And I was trending, not for playing golf, because someone said on Twitter, yeah, Lux o wa teng yena, o shapa bana ba bang. O shapa bana ba bang keng? He's going around slapping these. He must get arrested, this one. And when you look at that video, who am I slapping? I am slapping someone who was literally beating up perhaps their mother or their grandmother or terrorizing the community. Now we came and said, yes, Clever.
When a video was, I think they're gonna battle riba gogo or ripile gogo again.
So what do I do when someone comes and ubatlo ripa makoko? I must come and say, na lady tepe imaru me kopa ualwe. What must I do? That person is aggressive. What must I do with that person?
and the funny thing, Goring, one of the very same people
yeah.
When they see you face to face, say about the picture.
My brother, I'll be honest with you, né? I have never encountered anyone in this life who has come to me and said anything negative to me. I promise you, like on my kids' life, every time I see people, and in particular African people, they come to me. My brother, listen, yes, can I have a picture with you? And if South Africans, they'll generally say, yo, my mother loves you, because we're scared of showing love to each other. Yes. You don't want to say, I love you so much. Oh, yo, my mother loves you. Okay, girl, no problem. You must say hi to your mother. Oh, okay, sure, no problem. Say hi to your mother. But for me, the long and short of it is that hate on social media where people hide behind accounts is a serious mental. It's a reflection on our combined mental state as a country, as a continent, as the world. People are not okay. We come from serious broken families, guys, serious traumas in our lives. So I don't take those things serious because it's an account. It's a place for you to almost heal. When you say, yeah, to hell with Nhlanhla Lux, I'm happy because I gave you a moment to heal. At least like 1 second of healing I contributed towards that thing. So I don't have a problem because I don't have an identity crisis. I understand myself and I understand why I do what I do. It's not validation that's needed from you or from anyone for me to continue or stop. I don't live for the claps. I don't live for the boos. Whether you boo, whether you clap, ya rona training ya 1000%. Yeah, sure.
So on challenge, and you don't really have to answer this question.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna ask you anyway.
Yeah.
Because we work a couple of episodes like Obama. Shout out to Limpopo podcast. Giboni work Limpopo podcast. I think you also said this good DJs boo.
Yeah.
We if maybe someone is going to send you to like Nkabi, for example. Yeah. If I'm gonna send someone to kill you, we should make sure we do our homework.
Yeah.
Or but those who came before them, they are 6 feet under.
Yeah.
So now the question, Goring, have you killed someone now?
Listen, my
and
brother.
Was it maybe self-defense?
Jaga, listen, that thing is not a secret. Some of us have killed too many people. And not because we wake up and kill people. Simply because we are defending a Maponya mall. And people are coming with guns and rifles to try to get in and commit the crime. Then we start shooting. That person, dead body 1, dead body 2, dead body 3. I've even lost count, not personally, my counts. I'm not proud of them. Nor am I unhappy about them. For me, I've eliminated people who are just devil's angels in our communities. If someone has raped 20 grannies and this person is armed and dangerous, when I see him, must I sing a lullaby song? What must I do? When you go out and fight drug dealers, what do you think happens? Do you know how many people I had to bury that have operated with me? How many times have I been shot at? I'm not proud to say that I'm a good shooter, but I'm a good shooter. Now when my gun goes off, and I even sometimes help at people's funerals because I understand it's tough. Gogo did not send you to commit the crime, but you met us. Now you are dead. Then I'll find a way to go check. Gogo, do you have policies in this house? No policy. Here's 10,000. It will cover this and that. What else is needed? Here's an extra 5,000. Bury that nonsense.
Yeah, just to make life easy.
But we're not saying it because it's something we are proud of. I've never woken up or premeditated a killing. Premeditated a killing, never. The most recent one is some guys barkwala. So when we were driving, they cut us off. I don't know if they were hijacking us or not. Unfortunately, my entire unit was in the car. I don't know if they knew it's us, they didn't know it's us. But when young man came out, went to the side with the gun, these guys, hands up. before they knew it, the guy behind me was already firing shots. And because you're not sure who's firing shots, natural instinct is to also fire shots. Luckily, it was our guy who fired first. They were all laying there. Laying there because why? They were never I must wait for you to shoot. So Nanjam in real life. So Nazca, please, even if you're my friend, you haven't seen me in 10 years and you've got a gun, don't come and play around because you're going to fall. Don't come and play tricks and games. No, we're joking. No, don't joke because you could maybe point a gun at me. You're going to catch a bullet because I'm not alone and the people that I'm with, all of them are prime good shooters. If your friend from school plays around, walks in here and pretends they are robbing us, they're in trouble. Me sitting like this, they're in trouble, serious trouble. And then you'll all say, Lux, and talk on Twitter. Yeah, Lux my friend was just playing and Lux shot him. Hey, Lux thinks he's MacGyver. Hey. So that's why it's unfortunate.
Why was he trying?
Yes, man.
But like I said, our real life is our real life, and we'd rather not chill with commoners or common people who do common things and reason in a common way, because we don't, you see. And I'm not saying we are better. Maybe that common way is better. We below, it's fine. But we don't operate like the normal people do.
Mara non challenge because I'm too man. When I see you in Chaka, not in a bad way, but when I see you, I see Julius Malema. Oh, man. So you guys have something in common, man.
Sure.
You tell it like it is. Or like God now, you'll give Magogo or extra 5K or bury that nonsense.
Yeah.
That's Julius Malema. So if let's go and fit you go and the same thing, what's the Spanish of it? Flop him okay.
Look, I'll be honest with you. There's somewhere where I used to tell the guys that I probably introduced countless number of people to Julius Malema. Not personally, or Julius Kirmachens, Shabangoti, Machens Zoala Kofela Plomel Machens. I'll play his clips on my phone. Listen to this guy. You know, and I'm saying from before he was even in the EFF, and even when he was in the EFF, because he was someone that we could resonate with. Until a point where we realized that all that is glitter, it's not gold. So we must really go find real gold now. Because Julius was half man, half machine when we really loved him. In other words, he was half activist, half politician. He eventually turned into full politician. Someone that just talks and talks. You know, my brother, if you go to parliament, there is no politician who is in parliament right now who you can go to where they come from, where they live, and you don't find drugs, you don't find teenage pregnancy, you don't find poverty. In their community, they can't solve those problems, but they're in parliament. What do you expect them to do for this big country? They can't even sort it out in their own country, in their own community. So going back to Julius, I personally used to favor Julius. I personally used to defend Julius. I personally used to advocate for Julius until I grew older. When you grow older, you grow wiser. Then you see, Julius uthusitse man. Boma. Maybe organizationally what you can do. And I'm now interrogating the man. I remember going to Shekho. And when we got to Shekho, we fought, we got to a drug dealer's house with police, got that out. We went to shops that were selling expired goods, to our communities in Seshego, Arotwa Seshego. Uko Parliament, you speak big English, mara Seshego is in tatters. I'm sure many people from Seshego can tell you right now. Akipolitiki, I'm telling you the truth. But let's be positive now. Can I work with Julius? The answer is no, because he's a politician, I'm not. Do you understand what I mean? But can we support each other? Definitely. If Julius does the right thing, guys, I'll support Julius. If Julius says that I am coming with people, I'll be on the ground. We are not only marching, because marching is theoretical. That means we are singing Oliver Tambo for an hour. That's what a march is. If we're saying we are operating, we are going to drug dealers' houses that we have addresses to, we are meeting at Cliptown Police Station, we are focusing on Pinville, as an example.
But they always do that, most.
Julius, go, Michael.
Like if let's say maybe someone is racist, someone treat them to someone how bad, they go to that shop.
My man. And do what? And then so some it's unfortunate that a lot of people even listening are very far from the reality of politics. Politicians make a noise with the idea of benefiting from that noise. They don't make a real genuine noise with the idea of exposing. Why do they things? What I mean, okay, give me the case it's a
No, there is no Gibuadarengi because of mostly about Julius only when they are in trouble.
Yeah, that's human nature, and it's not fair, and it's also human. Some people must honestly support him even when they are not in trouble. If you honestly feel that he's doing what's right for the country or for you at least, you know. But for me, growing when you grow and you become a man, you can't look up to men that are just men for the sake of a man. I don't imagine Julius can do something that I can't do in terms of for my life. Maybe ntwana tse mo roundileng tse dependang mo di e-wallet tsa hae, because he's got money from where I don't know, it's different story, but he's got money, he can send the e-wallet, babang ba bitswa di ice boy, babang etc. So he can afford to have ice boys and so forth, because they know why they are benefiting. Maybe their kids are going to school, so he doesn't care if you call him an ice boy or not, you know. So but Julius, man, Julius nane kile ka mo favor le magents strata kile sa nganyo Julius until strata sa jumper first strata.
Yeah, but what went wrong? Because I don't think Julius ali one.
Yeah,
but when someone ilare ekare rometswe.
Yeah,
because of you were gunning for Julius Malema.
No,
but I think other politicians are also doing the same thing.
Yeah, no, I wasn't gunning for Julius, man. 99% of my comments towards Julius were responsive. Let me tell you something you don't know. Julius ikile when Tutula was starting, he used to attack some of us in Parliament. Whatever amount of the attack in Parliament. Julius once said in Parliament that Tutula thing is led by people whose fathers are gangsters. Naqava Tamalaka Kimakesta. Waqava. And Waqava Tamalaka Vele in the apartheid days, he used to rob all these post banks and what. Look, I'm not proud of his history, it's his life. I'm telling you the truth. My dad is a person that was a career criminal. The high state, the cash in transit, they introduced them. So as soon as you make things personal and you start now in Parliament, they are led by people, gangster children. Relevant, and you speak in that political English, gangster children. And I look at you like, oh, is this now personal? No problem. And he goes on. And nobody says, Julius, why are you saying this thing? Why are you doing this to Lux? But when Lux speaks, hey, Banna, even some people out of the woodworks come, no, Lux, why are you attacking this man? I'm like, listen, I'm just responding to this man. Maybe you should go ask this man why he took action to attack this man that you are now asking these questions to. So now I got tatazella Julius. Abamuchele da fair. Julius akasetle le nna so one-on-one mo passaging is na motho. I can promise you Julius will never do that until he goes 6 feet under. He'll never do that because he has a style, Julius. Guys, you mustn't underestimate Julius. He's not a fool. Julius is very smart. He knows how to move. That's why he survived all these years where he is. He knows. Let me tell you, if Julius was a fool, he would have confronted some of people like me early, which is something you can't do. So he knew, Julius, that you mustn't. But again, if you look at the people that are around Julius, Vuyani Pambo example, I was his mentor, me at school. St. David's Meristinanda has something called a mentee mentor. So you identify a young person that you must take care of, Koskolong. So I naturally took care of the younger black kids because, and especially from Soweto, I was given that responsibility to say, you're a senior from Soweto, we've got some of the boys on bursaries that come from Soweto, make sure that they're okay here at school, they integrate properly, etc. Vuyani Pambo was one of those kids. So he's now with Julius, and Julius took him from Peace Must Fall, etc., etc. So he knows too many things about me because he spent many years with me, and he's from Soweto where he would get more information about me. So if I was a fool, I'd be also upset at Vuyani, but the young man must eat something, his kids must go to school. So he must tell the boss when the boss asks, hey, what's going on there? So Julius knows. When, you know, again, if you are in my position, you would understand and appreciate the reality as it is. When the Hawks came to my house, it was these guys, but Julius. Julius at some point says, the AK-47s, they use the highest. And then people believe it easy. Why? Kentwana Makest. How to AK-47? Ebe mototwana li Julius are the highest. Then I'm not sure Ndwana to the highest. And Ndwana to the mnati mokasi man. Ndwana to the diploma would influence soft mokasi man. Ndwana to receive new by Panda Joam man. So someone are the highest. So liba to confuse the highest. Hey man, Ndwana na mani vacam chino checha. Hey man, Ndwana na man. So strata rona ratula roche ro akura. No problem. I wanna try.
So now, so the whole thing now, when it be personal somehow.
Yeah, because now Julius crossed the line too many times.
Because now there is no correct name by personally because of someone asked you this question or in maybe a figure of speech or a new meaning. But now I'm gonna ask you this question here, but in a different way. And the reason I'm asking this question because of body language rights, I can say to you, Kira Nhlanhla ke sharp. Or at least but once you see Nhlanhla ke sharp. Then we be body language our child. So now question go botsana when ale Mandwa, Julius' wife, ligile la jola na before. Because now I get neighbor personal. You also mentioned Mosadwa Julius wanga utlapaka Lux. So whether nearly joke or into serious, even if figure speech, how do you know utlapaka Lux? How do you know something we don't know? So either give figure speech or you mean utlapa le Lux, not utlapaka Lux.
Manto smells good. And so generally batho ba tlapanga Lux ba bangkhamonana. Manto guys smells good. You know, I'll be honest with you. Look, when I say Manto, Julius's wife, loves me, I mean it with all my heart. Please somebody interview Manto and make sure she's relaxed and she's not under siege from Julius. And ask her, and I hope that the heavens and the universe will conspire in her heart's favor and deliver the truth. Guys, Manto loves me. Like, I don't know what else to say to you. Like, you know, when something is pure and simple, it's simple. Let me tell you. Let me give you insight to what I'm saying, ne? And background.
Manto, please, I hope my mates, ne?
Yeah. Manto, man. And a Manto of it, a Manto Kipo was our favorite. So that's what Manto deserves better, not even me. Like, she deserves better. I'm not saying a better person or a better husband. Yeah. No, I'm not disrespecting Julius now. Because Manto is a mother, who also now one of them has turned 18. So it's part of, you know, these social spaces. You don't want someone to hear someone speak ill of your mother. But what you must also be fair about is the truth. Manto deserves better, Joe. Manto deserves, like, even perhaps even a better country to live in. Like Manto Okay, but on a serious note, I went to St. David's Meristinanda. All Manto's kids are at St. David's Meristinanda. So it couldn't have been an inspiration from Julius.
Hey, sir.
so and like let's just
Man, if you mametse, wanna please come to the show. Or a child divara man, because there's the way buka body language in Chagane. That's why there's someone abu buka kamanto. Walaita somehow.
Najalite.
Yeah.
Accelerating. Accelerating.
Umoni marwa chincha mara kero umoni jagar.
Uma vitalo feta Careless.
Mandwa. Accept words about one. So if in case you're watching, please come to the show. I don't know how, but please wagala. But there's a chance they might divorce. So in case maybe it happens, you guys divorce, feel free wagala, so we can hear the side of the story. Ne?
And you know, there's one thing about women. I know you're closing Manta's chapter, and I would have loved to let you close it, but there's one thing about women. Mm-hmm. Women are born to have an instinct for security. Security for their lives, their kids, etc. Themselves. And that's why I one day I wish this country can have a woman president, because instinctively these people can lead us to a greener pasture as a country. But anyway, on Mandwa, you know there's a lady that managed to be a first lady of 2 countries, neighboring countries, called Graça Machel. Oh, she was something else, that one. But on record, she was cow chaser. She can never ever even come close to Winnie Mandela. Winnie Mandela and a little chaser. Yeah. She was a belter of a woman. You see, I think I'm saying these examples to show you that it's not disrespectful when you say Manta kill chase. Mantwa. So if I can say Nelson Mandela's ex-wife, and I spoke about Nelson Mandela's other wife, and one happened to move from being a first lady of another a country to being a first lady of South Africa, Mozambique, and being a first lady of South Africa. I'm not saying Manta will shift first lady position. I'm just saying, you know, these type of things happen, and a woman know when the time is right to move.
I'm challenged. There's like another deeper touch because you also mentioned Mandela.
Yeah.
So when I lead the room, Mandela Otulungu president is not the real Mandela.
Yeah.
So that's why Winnie Mandela mod taking less divorce.
Sure.
So what do you think?
Look, I don't follow rumors, because otherwise we would risk being the people that we've been cautioning against. That PR would, you know, you must be careful. You must research these things and don't give comments and don't repost things that you don't know. So we are now reposting the idea of Mandela not being Mandela. Some saying some saying he had a mark this side. Now the mark was this side. He had a mark. So
that's better before President was Xhosa, and then after President
he never spoke Xhosa. I mean, if I take you to China, 27 years, you are going to speak Mandarin. I don't care who you are. If I take you to a prison in China and they don't speak English, after 27 years, you're going to speak Mandarin. And then when you come, you'll never be the same person. Do you understand what I mean? You can't be the same person. You can't be Lux Ole Otsebang Waskasi, and even in boardroom I can speak boardroom, I can flip and speak English. That's unbelievable. And when I'm in the hood in the street corners, you won't even believe that I know English, because fully one. So after 27 years in prison, guys, prison is not child's play. It's prison. So when a man comes back and decides to speak English because that was the medium of instruction in prison, because he's now arrested with comrades from Northwest, from Mpumalanga, one is Swati, and their common languages happens to be English, because we are under the British rule before the Afrikaans rule. So English, and we are comfortable and we're speaking English, and I'm speaking English every day for 27 years. You can't expect me to be the same guy who can flow easy Castos. And in any case, I'm now leading a country that's multiracial, and English is a dominant language. It's comfortable. I'm addressing everyone. So I can't fall for the idea that he used to speak Xhosa, Mandela, and now he came out only speaking English. Therefore, he can't be the same Mandela. For me, that's too small to convince me. I'm not saying it's not true. To convince me. You see? So I would then say, my brother, people like Mandela should have honestly been, when they leave prison, they should have not been given any responsibility. Because out of Tronkong that for that long, I'm not undermining people from prison. They should be at least given responsibility that is not above all responsibilities of leading a country. That man went through serious trauma of for 27 years is too long in prison.
Too long.
That man went through serious trauma of not raising his kids, not seeing his kids, not like being tortured by the system, being comrades dying in the cells and comrades screaming that side, and Mamang is in isolation for like, you can't then want that person to be given the heavy responsibility of leading an entire nation with all your problems. All your problems are now his. After 27 years, selfish. But again, perhaps that's what you wanted, Mari. I think if we are also fair, you can't lock me up for 27 years and you think that when I come out, I can negotiate with a man that's been free for 27 years. I've been locked up for 3 decades, 30 years, free 30 years, and we are all negotiating. That negotiation can't be fair. That negotiation can't be fair. You know, when you start saying that as Africans, parents don't have the right to raise their kids as they see fit, and the system or government has more right over the kids than the parents that are parenting these kids, and you as a man sign that document and put it into law. That's why today you've got kids that can't even be disciplined by their own parents.
Banal rights.
Some kids are scared of bolaks more than their fathers. I'm like, how did we get here? But it's simple. Today is the result of yesterday. So we must then ask ourselves, what happened yesterday for today to be what it is? Our parents allowed the nonsense documents that said that we are taking away your spirit of Ubuntu, your African ways of life, and we are saying you can't raise your own kids. Your kids, imagine spanking your child and your child calling the police, and the police arrest you and you sleep in a cell. Who's making sure that child is going to eat and dress in the morning and go to school? What system are we living under? But again, I'm telling you, the trauma of being in prison for 30 years, you can't think of these things. You need to be a free man to honestly have a free opinion and have a free expression and defend your people as free as possible. But I mean, hey man, Kopa Osamo ya Trongong 70. You kilo atswara for weekend. 27 years. You can't take such a responsibility after 27 years. Never.
You like atswara for 24 hours.
24 hours. Listen, you probably had a fresh haircut, but when you left, you needed a haircut after the 24 hours. Like,
so now you must not 27 years.
27 years. And then you're leading. You have been 27 years. I bias, but I never.
Okay, before the Kuala Njagane, let me. Originally, Julius Malema, I'll tell you about it. So I want you guys to think.
Jokes aside, guys. Whether Julius is right or Julius is wrong, what's important is that Julius is young, and young people must be given an opportunity to lead over old people, because old people continue to take decisions for this country. They continue to take decisions for a future that they will not be a part of. At least if Julius makes a mistake in the position of power, and I'm happy that they've got some form of small power. They are in government in some provinces. I'm happy that we'll be able to hold him accountable in the next 30 years, because naturally he should still be around unless there's something catastrophic, such as an accident or a hospital about wrong. But people like Julius, guys, they are the young people who then did not chill in the street corners when we were chilling in street corners. I did not personally chill in the street corner, but I'm making myself part of the blame. When young people such as Julius rose and said that not in our lifetime, not while we are here, we rather speak and even risk speaking the wrong thing as long as we're taking the podium and the mic to speak and defend the history, the today and tomorrow of this continent. Because Julius Bafetu is not an idiot. Julius is actually intelligent. Sometimes you also have to accept that perhaps this is not your time. You're born before your time, or you were born in the wrong era where the struggle does not fit like a puzzle. You're probably not the missing puzzle. So you're just going to be another politician, etc., etc. But now we are gonna. If I could, I would join the MK, the EFF, all black political parties. I would make them one thing and make sure that people like Julius are in the center of power, not completely running the show, but he would be in the center of that power, because his actions and him being present. Guys, you know, being present is very important. Imagine, example, you might not be the best financially, but don't hide from your kids. Just be a present father. A hug to your boy means a lot. Julius was present for all of us when all of us were never present for this country. He said, I'll be that guy. Let them kill me if they must kill me. So we can't undermine these things. And sometimes, as much as some things are personal, we must have the maturity to look beyond the personal issues. But Julius Bantsu, and if we can, as young people, we must mobilize ourselves, unite as Africans, and those who have displayed serious courage, wisdom, and leadership, Julius being one of them, we must put him at the center of power. But as long as he's not outside in a counter-revolutionary vehicle, he must be here with all of us, and we must do the right thing. And that's it.
Wait, see, like this, and so go respect even more.
Sure.
First time really good something positive ka Julius. So now if you wanna maybe proud of Bella side then admit okay, no, this guy owns him sharp. Then it wants a maturity.
Sure.
But now I'm gonna take you back. Because now it seems like when you know things we don't know. We mentioned it, and we can all see, but now we don't know the reason why. Rabona Julius Malema lose weight. I don't know why. But he's trying to lose weight. And then when I go, I think in the Limpopo podcast, I'm not sure. You mentioned Julius Wagula.
Tanzania fresh. Lisobon. Kona le bona ngore Tiarona lose weight. O like Tiaron. Lose weight. I'm not. I just wish people like Julius can come out and you know, just be honest with your people and show leadership, because many of our people are hiding behind illnesses because we don't know if we would be socially accepted. You know, you can still play for Orlando Pirates, guys. Ukula, ule diabetic, or ule HIV positive, or unali cancer. It doesn't need to be a secret. You don't have to play Hulk all the time. So, and it will also release you in the center of your mind and in the center of your heart if you know that that's only sharp. But again, it's his decision to let the world know what he's going through. If it's a pain that he can carry alone, I hope he can honestly carry it alone. But again, it would be very disrespectful of me to announce what is going on with Julius. Whether I know it 100% or 85%, but I know it. But it would be very disrespectful of me to do that, you know, because it's then we then forget ourselves as Africans, or Riboma, then the white systems, because social media is also part of the extension of a white arm that we are all now existing in. So for the sake of social media, I must now do that to this man, regardless of how I feel about him. I can't. He remains to be a black brother. You remember when we all in Africa, we all Gogo's kids. Yeah. We can have differences, but when Gogo's here and she gives us food on the same plate, you and I will eat in peace. Yeah, we'll fight when she's not here. So we remain to be Gogo's children. We remain to be the children of the soil. We remain to be Africa's offspring. We remain to be brothers, even though we've been through what we've been through, the Julius. But people must respect what he's going through. And if he continues to say he's just losing weight because he's running, he might have ran 1 million miles in a month to lose that weight. I'm just saying, but But yeah, let's not take the seriousness out with the joke. So we just ought to wait for him to be comfortable to tell us, and he doesn't even have to tell us. By the way, it's his life. We must respect it, and we must respect his contribution to the country, because whether he's suffering from this or that, or he's got an illness of this sort, of that or that sort, it has nothing to do with his direct contribution towards a betterment of South Africa or Africa.
So in closing, Jagane, because we don't really know what the future holds. So bona bo Floyd, they were busy with parliament ba desana le bo Jacob Zuma. Now he's part of MK. I just pray for one day when we wake up for the Nhlanhla or join the EFF, because you and Julius Malema and Jack, I don't want to lie, you guys have something in common. When I see you, I see Julius. So bona bo Ndlozi ba vaile, bo Floyd ba vaile. So tomorrow we might wake up, but no, hi, you guys resolve your issues. You are now part of the EFF. I think you guys can take this country far. So I just hope for that. I hope and pray. You guys, mark my words, you guys will remember me one day. Bra Julius, I'm gonna go back to Rapper. I got more text and video privately. So that your issues come about some sort of an agreement, man. I think in Nhlanhla Lux they can contribute more, especially EFF. Now imagine Nhlanhla Lux, the Julius Malema, president and vice president. And I just pray and wish that this happens.
And let me tell you something. Nothing is impossible in this country. If you ask me right now, I have no wish or desire of such a dream. Should I cancel the dream? The answer is no. If our people need us for this country to continue, and I must work with the worst of my enemies, I'll work with the worst of my enemies for this country and continent to flourish, by the way. But here's what I want to put out there. Nhlanhla Lux, yesterday, today, and tomorrow, I know my strengths. I am more of a Chris Hani who will lead serious, who's in today's world would be known as the general of the country, who has nothing to do with the president of the country. I have no desire of being a political leader. Let me tell you, Nhlanhla Lux will make you shine. Korvela, if you can understand that Nhlanhla Lux is not here to compete with you, I do not compete with anyone. I do not. Korvela, unfortunately, I've got unfortunately, and sometimes I wish I didn't. I just have a strong demeanor, so when I walk in, it confuses a lot of people. And once you sit with me, then you understand, hi man, ntwele man, asintwene ki bona man. Awuthi enhle ke uthi rona re ka ringa le yena, ubona. Korfela hakura wakura like wanyiwa, but I do not have any desire of being a president through political parties.
Yeah, but there is not we don't know about the future because of you were from personal experience in Jack.
Sure.
I came to Gauteng because of my music career. I wanted to push my music career.
Sure.
I've never thought one day they'll call me Mr. Baby Power. I've never thought. They came to me about faith. Oh, you know podcast get faith.
Sure.
Podcast I thought I can faith. Now, but if my people about like you something, I'll do that for my people. So I'm not doing podcast because of people are doing podcast. You tuna this because of Kedeman's about to tuna this. So okay, let me give them what they want.
Sure.
Le comedy. There is no unique when I get a comedy. There is because briefly, I don't want to take long. Briefly, no one beefy between le Caspania West. Guys sitting so we Bloma Simkasi, Bloma three streets away from Kukas. We have a song together before Abba famous. So that by the time my song is, I drop. Remember, I've always been popular back then. Now I'm famous, but back then I get popular. So I came here because of music career. So now if Casper's fans balance especially look at Twitter, I was on a power. Kamo Somizi le no butse case because when I did this other thing that I did, butse case Somizi. So now Casper invest kamo ki defense Somizi. So now pressure about too much. Ended up again. I'm gonna leave this thing your music. I left music for my 2 years. Again, I'm gonna prove them wrong. I'm gonna leave music and do something totally different, and I'll succeed. Today, can I 1.5 million followers on TikTok, 1.3 on Facebook. I have a lot of followers, but I've never thought of it.
Sure.
So we don't know what the future holds.
No, 100%.
So Lena, maybe you don't have that desire of being a president, but you'll never know.
Sure.
Just to fix it, Careless. Guys, it was never a beef. It was social media.
Sure.
Yeah, that's why I get a social media. They'll make you see things which are not there.
Like they knew each other.
Yeah.
And
Sure. Yeah.
And doing like music together and stuff.
Yeah. No, shout out.
Yeah.
But no gets at the podcast, no gets at the comedy, about what the baby power. I've never thought.
Sure.
Yeah. So Lena Ibale that.
I mean, I also follow you, by the way. I also follow you. That is your baby powder chapapam.
Otherwise, shout out Casper, shout out Somizi.
Yeah.
Respect.
Yeah. And let me tell you something. There's no revolution that was ever led by old people. The first step to any revolution, if you want this continent to be in the hands of young people, you can see what's happening in other parts of Africa. Young people are emerging, and all of a sudden they are presidents. You know, I can tell you about Ibrahim. I can tell you about, if you go higher, you can go to Ethiopia. The president is in his 40s. Dr. Abiy. His name is Dr. Abiy. So Google Dr. Abiy. We've got some more presidents who are going 40 and lower. And what I'm then trying to say when I bring it home is that even when you have beef with someone like Somizi, I think the older black people are failing us. If you have beef with Somizi, I know Somizi, and all it takes is for me to set up a meeting between you and Somizi, because the love that we can express in our black nation, most Chabeng Saranso, is honestly the catalyst to the revolution getting to where it needs to go. Because the first step that the enemy will do is to divide and rule us. And sometimes it's not the enemy, it's ourselves. We divide and rule, and we divide ourselves and allow others to rule us. Your numbers, Somizi's numbers, perhaps Casper's numbers, you would easily create a superstar just with the three of you tomorrow morning. If you all say, we are posting this young boy from Northwest, his name is Mamang, his talent is pure, and people are not giving him attention. So we are all going to post him on Monday, Wednesday, Friday. By Sunday, that boy is a superstar.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But we can't. The Black Nation, we're all stuck in our townships. We don't know how to move. Why? Because because the ones at a level where and then you want to preach the Bible when you have an opportunity, but you don't see the strength that's in you. God is inside of you, trying to express, trying to shout, but you're making him mute, and you're doing other things. So I'm then saying, look at Julius when this thing started. Have you told Julius what you're telling me? No, telling us in corners won't do you justice. If at the end of the day, you're a few years older than me, and when uncle, I know 100% head of salute for making me straight, so that or at the end of the day, you're an African child. Julius is your brother, I'm your uncle, and Africa. This guy's on Twitter. It would hit home more than if you tweet about me. I'll tweet man. Because those platforms don't resonate with our spirit. They're not us anyway. So we need to check ourselves as black people. Somizi, perhaps, he might have been very upset, continues to be. But if someone knows Somizi, I could organize for Mahotmane who are very close to Somizi to call him, because Somizi is Mahotman. Don't underestimate that. La Hotman la game, Hotman la leve, Hotman la kespandi, kincha strata. Skamona abua ale fancy whatever. Mame, Somizi kincha strata. Somizi tseba din chatsa strata showcase. One to like Chojwang din chatsa strata tseba Somizi. So we can then get some of the people that we know, basiras balongore bakabitsa Somizi babitse mamang and squash. Imagine if we had someone who says my 2025 responsibility as le Hotman la game ke nna Mandla speaker, I'm going to make sure socially, politically, economically, in business, both the beef tsabo tsantwana tsa rona in business, they should be working together, not fighting.
Exactly. Yeah.
When I le buang singamla olo a motivational speaker ke mang?
Vusi
Vusi Thembekwayo.
Ukura wolo lentwane le exciting le na personal ke ncanywa ke frostani cheese boilers cabbage.
Sizwe Dlomo.
Yeah. Wena lento le e buang singamla wolo e motivational speaker ke mang? Yeah, Vusi Thembekwayo. Ukura wolo lentwane le exciting le na personal ke ncanywa ke frostani cheese boilers cabbage.
Sizwe Dlomo.
Yeah. I gave frostani ntwane le fucked up, but if we say this is a year for black people to unite, let that happen. Even Mokasi, even the people you don't know, ba re tsebang rona hore ntwana tse di shapa di highest tse le di shapa di eng mara ba kurisan ba fet kurifedi. This year we're going to make being black a pure year of black people, and we're going to be super united. Even in politics, guys, re kopantshitse strata se united. Even the taxi industry, there's no more taxi violence. We've united every association. Even in politics, EFF, MK, ANC is now one thing. Let me tell you. Badimbaruna bakatso. At the end of this year, every grave would shake, every ancestor would rise. I'm telling you now. Africa can be the real Africa that we all wanted to be. Yeah.
Hey guys, for clarity, from my side, I don't have any beef with Somizi.
Sure.
Nireloko memorial service in Kilingan.
Yeah.
So you was here for getting fit. Do you think he still remembers? Because now I think it was Boma 6 years ago.
Sure.
And I don't even blame Somizi for Rubula case. If I was him, then I was going to do the same thing. So I think everything happens for a reason. So for me to understand Tabedi gay, I think I had to learn through Somizi. So shout out to you for Rubula case. I think I'm a better man because of that case. And I did apologize. Kishapale public apology today. I still apologize. Somizi. Any beef. So just for clarity. Whatever it's in the fella was stupidity, but I apologize if you heard it somehow. But then Chaka, once again in Fetu, thank you so much for coming to the show, Chaka. Wait to know in Fetu, like it's not really like more like an interview, more like a conversation.
Sure.
So that's why we were able to laugh and then make jokes and stuff. I now respect you more.
Sure.
So I'm gonna ask you one thing. I hope that this is not the last time you're born. Let's fight together, Nchaka. If you are good, allow me to use the power that I have.
Sure.
Same thing where if you come together, we can do better.
Sure.
So if you want anything that I can do to help you guys, whether it's via maybe marketing, doing the comedy skills via create awareness, or to go with you guys to fight crime,
sure,
we can do that.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. No, 100%. I think the biggest challenge we're all facing as a country, in our communities, in our black households, guys, is drug abuse, drug and substance abuse.
Yeah.
So I've got a rehab in the mountains. It's a military school of rehabilitation. I take young people from all provinces and I rehabilitate them there. My latest rehab that I'm opening is in the Free State province. That rehab is culture-based. So if Umuzulu, we are not only going to rehabilitate you, but we are going to teach you the history of Zulus and give you an identity as an African, because the biggest problem is that our young people are going through a serious identity crisis because we call ourselves South African. But what is that? What is that?
Yeah.
Do you understand what I mean? And there's nothing wrong if we have a badge of unity that we all call ourselves, but you can't lose yourself in that multiracial setup. Do you understand what I mean? So the Free State one is open, and this is the first time I'm actually saying it on any platform. When you say it's culture-based, the camps, we've got a Zulu camp, a Sotho camp, even though most programs we eat together because we're not, with the idea is not to divide, but it's to reintroduce you and re-educate you to who you are and give you your culture identity back that was taken viciously by the systems of apartheid, etc. We know what happened. So we also open our doors. We've got camps for the young people in Zimbabwe. We've got camps for the young people in Botswana. We've got camps. The Sotho camp accommodates young people from Lesotho too, because the Sotho culture remains one. We're making sure that the south of Africa, southern Africa, most cultures, if not all, will be represented there. So a young person from Namibia, a young person from Mozambique will be able to come to the camp too to get rehabilitated, because drugs is not a South African phenomenon. It actually chows at our continent. While they're stealing from underneath the earth, the drugs are stealing from the future of our children. So we are dismal, we are losing underground, we are losing the future, we are in serious trouble. So some of us have to try, do the best we can, where we can, with the resources we have. So maybe then you can reach out to more young people that I can reach, to say that there's an opportunity, males, females, there's an opportunity to say that if we have a grade 12, maybe we can set a criteria between us, then we can make videos. If you have a grade 12, you still have an opportunity to live. You're a girl, or maybe you're a single mother and you've got kids, or maybe you've got 2 kids, then you are someone who must save in this community, because that means 2 lives definitely need you. Then you can come to the camps, and we can even give you cultural rehabilitation, and you see, and you get reintegrated back into your communities in Northwest, etc. Talking about Northwest, your province, I have one child who gave birth at my rehab this past year. The child was born at rehab. It didn't make any newspaper. Because why? It's black people is a black person helping another black person, rehabilitating them. No, but we're not desperate for the thing to hit the media, because we don't live off sponsorships. We can't get cancelled, me and the brothers here. So we need to create more of a tornado of black people understanding who they are, so that we're not begging social media data activists to cancel us or not. So we can actually do the right thing for our people. You know, Pro Kid said in his songs, and even when he woke up, you know, he was one artist that I lived amongst. Ampur every day in Ekwana Pro. Nare span Antoine aska front Antoine. So in today's world, span Antoine aska post Antoine. In today's world, span Antoine. The Sinkata Antoine. People span, but span on data, camera on, span in your real life. Are spanning my chance, are spanning 100%. No one is going to save the black nation except for us. Let's do it.
Hey guys, yeah, we want to say personal most I thinking. One number 2. I'll see you next week, same time, same place. La Ziakala.